All right, Meow. We are picking up with where we left off yesterday. We beat Sabrina Mono Dark in Rad Red 4.1. We're going to do Sand Route and Water Route because I think that'll be less frustrating than Snow and Sun. We'll take on Brendan. We'll start on rematches. We'll do Safari Zone. Best case scenario, we beat Koga. I hope you're all doing well on this Wednesday. I'd say it's fine, but let's just say I'm not pleased with the outcome of the election. But it's apparently what the people wanted, so hooray. Let's see, I have to find more music. Ideally longer ones rather than, oh wow, a bunch of 2-minute videos. I mean, in theory, I could just use the same two, but it's like, you know. Okay, actually, I think this one will work. That does not look like what I'm looking for. We'll do this one. There we go. It's a bit of a bop. This will do. All right, so we don't have a way to automatically get rid of weather, aka when a mon enters the field, be it drizzle, be it drought, be it sandstorm or snow warning. So we more or less are gonna have to play through the weather and hope we don't miss against the several mon that have Sand Veil, which gives them evasion. It's 3 fights in a row. That's why I don't like to go Sand Route, but I really don't want to play through the snow part because Blizzard doesn't miss in snow. There's no equivalent to that with sand, and there's a fair amount of shenanigans in the sunny route, which feels very long, whereas rain doesn't feel that bad, to be honest. All right, let's get it. I'm also gonna pick up the rest of the video that Lawyer was doing on Delphi, Indiana. I'm not sure what other crime coverage we'll do today. Apparently Sarah Boone has a new lawyer, likely appeal lawyer, filing for a new trial. All these things are normal. They file their appeals. There's no reason not to file your appeal. The appeal gets exhausted. It'll be interesting to see if there's any meaningful appellate issues or it's just the usual, I lost and I don't think that's fair. So we protect on the first turn. We go into play rough. Very good. This is gonna be probably Boom Burst. I wish I was holding a Chilean Berry. I know I do outspeed. So I think I'm just gonna go play rough. Really? Okay. So we do live. That's not a terrible thing. Wait, why didn't... Oh, no. Sand Veil. Yep. Well, that's not ideal. All right. I totally forgot he's the one with Sand Veil. All right, so... Yep. This is not great, but we can make it work. Okay, Helios again. Well, Dragozold has double speed because Sand Rush. All of the best we can do is just Sucker Punch, get some chip damage in. Interesting that I lived the Bolt Beak, but then I died to Sand. Okay. We're gonna go Spiky Shield. We go Sucker Punch again. We wanna Fake Out. Okay, Doug Trio, we're gonna go for Crunch. Hariyama will go Earthquake. It'll go Fake Out. We'll go Earthquake again. Shiftry, we Fake Out. We Leaf Storm, we kill. That definitely did not go as well as I would have liked. I knew I could miss with Sandvale, but I was kind of hoping I wouldn't miss with Sandvale, you know? So now we gotta change the team. We wanna go with... Honestly, I'm probably gonna do like Fake Out Sucker Punch, because while Bug does resist Dark, it's a very squishy Pokemon. Gigalith is definitely gonna be annoying. We're gonna wanna use Taunt against Roserade. Houndstone's not gonna be an issue because we have Dark and Dark Dunk Sun Ghost. Let's pull up the rest of that Richard Allen video that lawyer you know was talking about the other day. Since we're not really doing boss fights, these are basically all mini bosses, it's not as distracting to talk about it.
Do a much better job, but the expert could not recreate the markings on the fire.
So yeah, that's important. The prosecution in the Richard Allen, aka the Delphi, Indiana case, claims there was a unspent round and it had a mark on it that they say comes from it being cycled through the pistol. They then grabbed ammo of the same make and model, did what they say caused the mark on it to be made by cycling it through the firearm, so likely racking back the slide and then having it be ejected. And the ballistics people that the prosecution has was unable to reproduce that marking. So between the confessions being false because they threw Richard Allen in in solitary for 61 months. HQ, I'm sorry that I just saw this. I forget that for some reason my chat doesn't want to naturally show up, so I had to do the pop-out chat now. Not new headphones. I'm glad to hear you're okay. You and your sister went radio silent for a while, and I was doom spiraling, like what's the worst thing that could have happened? I'm glad to hear you're alive. We're talking about the Delphi, Indiana case. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm prone to catastrophizing, so you know that's fun for the whole family, right? But yeah, so I hope you and the cats are doing well. I hope you and your sister are doing well as well. But yeah, so until a verdict is rendered, everyone has the presumption of innocence. Yet right from the jump, when they started being interested in Richard Allen, they put him in a maximum security facility. They had him in solitary confinement for 13 months straight. He was only allowed out like 1 hour at a time, like 3 times a month. So it's pretty heinous. The average person is gonna be like, oh, we found his firearm. Oh, we found his confession. Oh, he was at the scene of the crime. Ergo, he did it. And I feel really bad for him, especially since, unlike the Sarah Boone case, which was in Florida, there's only 24 seats that are open to the public. There were lawyers lining up at like 3:45 in the morning to get one of those 24 seats, and they sometimes couldn't always do it. There's no cameras allowed, there's no recording allowed, etc. So the only people that are getting in are the 24 people that are allowed to sit, and they're like witnessing it and they're taking notes, and that's basically it. It feels very shitty, and it doesn't feel like he's going to get his fair day in court. But sadly, that's our criminal justice system. Okay. I hope she enjoys London. I hope she's safe. And I hope she has a good time there. And yes, she absolutely deserves to take a break.
So maybe it's just as likely it was from Holder's gun as it was from Allen's gun. That's an argument the defense wants to make. At the time of his testimony, Lieutenant Holman was aware or should...
And yeah, the defense wants to say that this was a ritualistic killing tied to Odinism, which the long and the short of it is, it's Norse religion, and apparently that branch in particular has neo-Nazi ties. But the bodies were arranged in a certain way. There were certain objects around the body, sticks, etc. All these things would indicate this was more than just a killing. But as of a few days ago, when Lawyer was talking to Lawyer Lee on his podcast, who is one of the people who is actually attending the Delphi trial, they're saying, despite evidence being brought in, the defense is still being told this does not count as a foot in the door / opening the door, and that means the Odinism third-party defense is still not allowed. So that basically leaves Richard Allen with no real defense, and I fucking hate that for him. Yeah. Hopefully that wasn't like an air raid siren or alarm. I know you're not in America, so when I was catastrophizing, I figured you and your sister died in an airstrike, and I was praying that wasn't the case. And yeah, exactly, the news. I was in a media blackout all day yesterday, self-imposed, and then Mom spoiled it by leaving a note on the wall when I got home, so then I prayed about it a bunch, and it's going to be a long 4 years is the best way to put it. Since you are here and you're normally not here this late, because I know it's late for you, we're also going to get 1 or 2 Pallas Cat videos in. All right, let's see. Yes, absolutely. Let me pull up this one. This is a Pallas Cat. I'm not sure what habitat they're at, but they're messing around with a cardboard box, which, you know, that's fun for the whole family. I'll replay it once it finishes buffering, but it sounds like it could be something out of a boss fight, you know? Very like John Elden Ring. And this is scraped from the Pallas Cat Discord. Yes! I love it. It's so wholesome. We're gonna let it play through at least once more. So silly. Very adorable. What a mighty jump. As I said, it sounds like it's boss battle music from like Elden Ring or Dark Souls. Yeah, exactly. Did you and your family and your house remain relatively unscathed from what triggered the air raid alarm? That is, I am grateful that they survived. I'm grateful that the Iron Dome is quite effective at doing its job. And, yeah. I mean, so yeah, maybe some of the missiles weren't inert. Maybe the ones that were coming your way weren't really gonna hit your house. Either way, it didn't happen. So we love that for you. We're gonna pull up 1 or 2 more videos. I want to find one that's like longer than 10 seconds. Because with all the buffering, it feels like I have to like let it loop 3 or 4 times just to be able to watch it. Let's see what else. This one's not bad. I'm just trying to make sure they're not sad. I don't want to feel sad, especially after yesterday. So this is Nar, male Pallas Cat at Nasu Animal Kingdom. He's apparently doing a snack. He's a very hungry boy. He hasn't been with his wife for months, so once the Meownwell are taken... I don't see any other viewers, but yeah, don't worry about it. I won't bring it up. Yes, he is absolutely messy, and this is from Alpaca Zymon, probably on Twitter. He is not very good at eating, whereas there's one with like Grusha eating a steak, and he basically eats it in like 3 clean bites. But yeah, once the kittens that Az gave birth to are gone, aka they get like sent to other zoos, Az and Nar will be reunited, and it will be great because they love each other, and Nar's been alone all this time. Sylvie, thank you for stopping by. I hope you're doing well. I'm trying to cope with the election results. We're watching some Pallas Cat videos, and then I'm going back to playing Pokemon Mono Dark. We're working on the weather routes. We're gonna try to do the 3 rematches and Koga today. Nar is such a silly boy. All right, and once again, Nar is from Nasu Animal Kingdom in Japan. He's got that perpetual sad boy look, which we hate because cats don't deserve to be sad. Let's see. Want to find another good one. Too short. That one's actually way too long. It's like 20 minutes. Yeah, it's a real mood. Like, don't get me wrong. I wasn't gonna be pleased by either outcome, but I can safely say the outcome we got is worse than the outcome I would have preferred. All right. Oh no, I don't want to be sad. Oh, this one's not too bad. This is going to be Bull and Polly being fed, and it's probably from, let's find out. Who is it from? It's from Pallas Cats on TikTok. It's Bull and Polly. You can tell because Polly is a voracious beast, and Bull is going to be trying to get food as well, but Polly can't be stopped. All right. So yeah, that was Polly right at the beginning. Bull now wants his food. Polly's gonna attack him because she wants more food still. Yeah, super dramatic. There's one where Bull is chilling on a stump and Polly gets fed. Polly literally does a drive-by and knocks him over. But yeah, you can tell that's Polly in the background. Bull's just chilling, waiting to be fed like a good boy. He's very mild-mannered. And then this is also at Nasu Animal Kingdom in Japan. Polly is super animated about food. And she's adorable. I love Bull's white socks and the way he licks his paws. He's such a gentleman and a scholar. Polly also got the white socks with the brown slippers. It's such a nice look for them. It's gonna be getting cold. I mean, it's already November, so it'll likely be quite snowy, and then their coats will get very fluffy. I have one more picture of Bull hiding in the snow. Sylvie, I'm sorry to hear you're sick. I hope you feel better soon. I suffer from chronic illness as well, does HQ. So you have my prayers and you have my deepest sympathies. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. Let's see. Let me find the one where it was Snow Bull because it is quite funny. It's a picture rather than... Let's try it this way. Has... Yeah, don't worry about it. I haven't been sick in a while, but I'm constantly trying to dodge getting sick, so I completely understand how it feels. I'm just gonna scroll up in this one a bit. I wasn't able to find the specific one I was looking for, sadly. I see it a lot. It's just like, I would like to finish Mono Dark this week, but since tomorrow is basically Friday, I'll probably finish Mono Dark at the end of next week. I might take a break from Pokemon. I'm not sure what I'm gonna play. I'm still looking for the picture of Bull in the snow. Maybe it's in Boulders. It is not. That's actually annoying. I wasn't able to find it. So instead we'll just go with a different picture of Bull since he's adorable. Pun intended. Let me move this real quick. It's a screenshot from the parody music video they made for the Pallas Cats. That's Cool Boku. The pollen makes his nose runny. When he had a swollen forehead that required surgery, it was tied to his allergies, which that's actually something that can be a thing. You can develop such a mass of congestion in your sinuses that they have to be mechanically drained. It's pretty crazy, and I'm grateful I haven't had to deal with that just yet. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely horrible stuff. And I've looked it up in cases with humans. It's not a thing anyone would want to endure, especially because since you still have your allergies, they can always come back. All right, back to Pokemon and wrapping up the relatively new info on the Delphi case.
Should have been aware that Brad Holder's .40 caliber was never collected, tested, fired.
Brad Holder is another person that may have been there. The defense really, if the defense can't use the Odinism defense at all, and Richard Allen already admits he was in the area, and they have the 61 false confessions, they're not going to tell the jury that it's false. They're just going to say he confessed a bunch, and then, oh, we got him, right? And something that I found really interesting is normally if you are on jury duty, you are sequestered, aka you're not allowed to talk to the outside world, and you're not allowed to go on social media, you're not allowed to read the news, etc. But they'll also make it so you can't talk to other jurors about what you think the verdict's going to be, whereas in Indiana, you're allowed to do that. So the example I used the other day is, say you're on the jury and you're relatively shy, or you seek to avoid conflict, because most people actually do. And there's like a really opinionated person on the jury, and you're allowed to talk. And he's like, oh, I can't believe this son of a bitch did this. We're gonna get him. We're gonna get justice for Abby and Libby. And, oh, yeah, he said he was there, and we already know he confessed, so let's just fucking fry him, you know? And you be like, well, I'm not sure. I'm not really convinced, but you want to avoid confrontation. So you'll end up backing down and kowtowing to this assertive, domineering person. So that's very scary from like a justice POV, because they're allowed to do this, and it's not looking good for the defense. Based on various motions and rulings and objections, the judge is very much showing her bias with how difficult it is to get seats, with not being able to get in there, no photographs, no recordings. It will not surprise me that he's found guilty, you know? And that will, in my opinion, be yet another innocent man being put behind bars. Within the vein of the Black Swan murder trial, aka Ashley Benfield, they couldn't prove it was murder, but because it was Florida and lesser charges are included, they just convicted her on manslaughter. Which, in my opinion, they didn't prove their case, so they don't get to do that, but sadly they do. All right.
Or compared to the bullet allegedly found at the crime scene. Yeah. So they didn't even do the investigation, which again becomes lack of investigation, bad police work, and reasonable doubt. Reasonable doubt. That's what the defense is arguing at the end of the day.
Let's see. We'll go Poisonberry.
Therefore, the jury has been misled into believing that law enforcement... Before I read this, so I see some people posting about it's kind of impossible for Richard Allen based on his
graphs, I think.
Size.
Yes.
Guess what? If that is an impossibility, they are still able to argue that. That's not something that's going to be blocked from the defense. They are still going to be able to argue that multiple people did
We're going to go Rockberry.
It wasn't just Richard Allen, and they can argue a lot of the things that are in this motion. I guess unless
we're gonna go fighting, I think.
They can't argue that it was
we're gonna go
person, that he couldn't have lifted her, that he couldn't
fighting
have
again.
multiple blades at the same time. I should say, I shouldn't be so confident here because this judge surprises me. But they should still be able to make those arguments. Specifically, what they can't do is make the Odinism connection and specifically point the finger and put forth evidence that.
But yeah, they can also explore based on how one of the victim's cell phones were tracked, in the sense that it was moving, then it stopped moving for like 19 minutes or so. It more or less speaks to, so if it's only one person, you're expecting one person who's like 5'4" to be able to do all the things they did, set up an elaborate killing scene in less than 19 minutes. But if you get like a strong quote-unquote 4-person on the jury, much like we talked about earlier, oh yeah, we're just gonna get this son of a bitch. I can't believe what he did to Abby and Libby. He essayed them, he murdered them, he posed their bodies in disgusting ways. We're gonna get justice, and we don't care that it may not be really fitting as far as the evidence goes.
This was Holder or Elvis.
All right, so we're gonna fake out.
They can still make some of those arguments without
and we're gonna sucker punch.
And again, bringing evidence that it was other people. Therefore, the jury has been misled into believing that law enforcement's only available evidence only supports that only one person was involved in the crime.
We're gonna go into
evidence from law enforcement investigation and trial testimony from Dr. Core, Pat Cicero, and Lieutenant Jerry Holman would support the defense.
We're gonna spiky shield
involved in the crimes. This is true because Elvis Fields has provided inculpatory statements, had a social media connection with Holder. Holman has indicated
that was not enough, but we'll get there.
Participants will ultimately reveal the secret of the crime. It is also true that because substantial amount of evidence supports that Brad Holder's social media contained words and images that are consistent with the crime scene, and
there we go. Not great, but it's not a double battle or anything.
14, 2017, when for the only time in his life, he claimed in a Facebook post that he was at the gym, as Holder stated under oath in a deposition.
Taunt for no status effects.
Holder's social media is also consistent with others being involved as assisting him with moving the bodies. Richard Allen possesses a Sixth Amendment right to rebut Lieutenant Holman's theory on one man and only one man was involved in this case. Especially when Lieutenant Holman's reasoning for believing that
next
only one man was involved in the murders is
Swampert.
By the evidence,
so we're gonna taunt to prevent him from doing that.
That supports Lieutenant Holman's belief that when multiple people are involved in a crime, ultimately one person will spill the beans. Additionally, as previously detailed, Richard Allen possessed a Sixth Amendment right to present evidence that those involved in
I'll stay straight. I'll kill it.
Were involved in this case and posed the girls and placed the sticks on the girls in certain arrangements for reasons that are very personal to the person that committed the crime.
Leave Storm.
Currently, in part, for purposes of ruling anticipation of to contact our
swap out into Goofus.
It's ruling.
Fake out again. Fake out into play rough. Never mind. Feels bad.
Richard Allen, have the prosecution ruined any chance of prosecuting the real culprit? That person's defense would be alright for them. I shouldn't say
let's pivot out
emphatically 100%, but practically speaking, yes, they've made it very, very difficult now to prosecute anybody else. Because of all the evidence they have, Richard Allen, and you can.
The prosecution, instead of gathering all the info and then looking at all the info to figure out who it is, they honed in on Richard Allen shortly after he admitted to the police that he happened to be in the area that day, and now they're trying to make all the evidence fit, which is not how it's supposed to be. But if I know anything about life, things rarely go as they're quote-unquote supposed to, and I hate that for us.
Imagine how, if I'm representing Brad Holder and let's say they try to come after him, I'm going to say, we got this guy, Richard Allen, who confessed to the crime. Prosecute him.
He confessed.
That guy admitted that
no one who's innocent confesses. It's horrible.
Just your job becomes a lot more difficult.
Yep, absolutely.
Does a juror have any recourse if they convict someone without hearing this? I'd be beyond upset. Thank you. No. Those are legal decisions. And again,
save again.
Court so forth. The judge screwed it up. We, get rid of that verdict and do this trial all over again with a new jury. So if the jury really did make a wrong decision based on the evidence that
we need to not miss, Sandvale is cringe. Good. Okay.
Fancy. As someone of Norse heritage, these
we didn't miss.
Claims
good.
Made me so angry. Odinism or Asatru is still the state religion on Iceland, and it's not evil. And like I said before, this wouldn't be the first time that somebody took religion.
Yeah, and it won't be the last time someone uses religion in the name of something perverse. People, and earlier in this video, there were people taking offense to the defense being like, well, we think it was a ritualistic cult killing, and there were people who be like, I believe in Norse mythology, or I'm from Iceland and I don't like that they're doing this. And that's fine. The average person is not gonna like how a lawyer defends someone, but if it rubs the jury the wrong way, that absolutely could backfire. Because I remember in the Sarah Boone trial, the defense lawyer was saying various things to frame the case in a certain light, and the chat and Peter of Tragos Law, aka Lawyer was like, look, he doesn't care if we like him, it's not a big deal, but if his attitudes and his approaches rub the jury the wrong way, they're not supposed to rule on quote-unquote emotion. They're supposed to only rule on the facts of the case. But if a juror gets it in his mind that this one person's like a sexist POS or a racist piece of shit, then they can be like, well, I don't like that guy. I don't like how he represented his client. And as such, I'm less inclined to consider what they're saying in a favorable light.
and twisted it for their evil ways.
Okay.
If that's what happened here,
Swap
I don't
out
know, right?
into
I don't know, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is there seems to
Goofus.
be more than enough here
Play
for
rough.
the defense to be able to present this argument to the
Sucker
jury.
punch.
The jury should be able to consider it. And
We
make
do
a
die to
decision.
sand though. Ouchies.
Even knowing all this, is it still proven beyond a reasonable doubt that Richard Allen committed these crimes?
Ouch. But luckily we got some damage in on him. I'm gonna go fake out again.
Right? It doesn't bother me. Some
Into
people think
vac
he did do
wave.
it, some people think he didn't do it. But even if you think he did do it, why do you think they shouldn't be able to present a defense that they have
Fake
other
out
people that are
again.
posting things about it online? They're literally arguing that Richard Allen confessed and knew things.
I mean, I'm a very serious person. It's a result of my trauma. So I'm glad you enjoy that. Okay, we're going to sucker punch. Nice. We are going to sucker punch. This one's actually annoying because it's the sturdy Aaron Shell Bell Endeavor combo. It's like, bruh. So we're gonna spiky shield so it does damage to itself. And now we can sucker punch and kill it. So very good. Now we gotta prep for the rain team. Rain team is annoying, but it's not nearly as bad. I'm gonna see how far I can get with current team, and then we'll go from there.
Things that only the killer could know that other people couldn't know. Well, the defense is saying.
Also, who did the 40-second go with to London? I would personally fear for her safety if she went by herself.
There's another guy, Brad Holder, who was making statements and comments on social media that only the killer could know. The DNA spinning stuff is very weird. Richard Allen has no connection to the girls. Brad Holder has a connection to the victims through his son. I find it interesting. I really do. Make sure you guys hit the like button. We're going to go through now some of his, just kind of quickly here at the end of the video, some of the...
Okay. Okay. I hope they are all able to remain safe and have as good of a time as they can. We'll go into Shiftry. We'll fake out into Vac Wave. We'll go Vac Wave again because priority move. We want to get that Pokeball, and we also want to see if there's anything here. There might be. Okay, let's see. I don't think so, but I'll make it be night, and then we'll check. I've never been abroad outside of going to Canada, and with the world being the way it is, I am even less inclined to go abroad now. Okay, so no dark. Okay, gotcha. And I'm so pleased to hear that. All right, so now we're gonna go all the way down. We want to swap out into Goofus, fake out into Play Rough. We want to heal. We want to save. Okay, so it's not that simple. I have multiple health issues. I'm not exactly able to work. There's no bonus. There's no tangible benefit for me going to Canada. If I didn't have a retinue of health issues, if I didn't have said health issues that get in the way of me actually working, it would maybe be a different story. For example, I really wanted to move out west into like Arizona or New Mexico to get away from the terrible weather up here. But we don't know anyone out there. There's no one here who could help us. Mom has a limited job skill set, and just uprooting everything and going out west wasn't going to be viable. So, I don't know. All right, let's save. Let's pull up who they actually open with. Okay. We're going to hold a Chilean berry to reduce the damage from explosion. All right.
Issues in this case as well that the jury's hearing. make sure you subscribe as well if you guys have not already. We're going to continue to do this. I'm trying to set up other podcasts in the future with other people that are in the courtroom because you guys seem to really want that. So hopefully next Monday we'll have another one. We'll see. We're working on it.
All right, Chilean for the explosion.
So I'm waiting for her to get back to me, and then maybe
save again
in the future there. But she was the one most of you guys asked about when I had Andrea on. Okay, so just kind of quickly thinking about the interrogation and / the confession at different times. Initially,
rock slide.
It seems like all reports were he didn't seem like he had a guilty conscience, was emphatically denying it.
Okay.
Even when they brought his wife in, yeah, he got agitated. If you start to figure out you're getting accused of a crime or getting arrested for something, maybe you'd get agitated too. But yeah, it does not take much solitary confinement for there to be deleterious and detrimental effects on one's psyche. So I am absolutely not surprised that someone who is being held in solitary for over a year straight, of course they're gonna say and do whatever because they want this to end. But all the jury's gonna hear is, oh, we already have his confession. No one innocent falsely confesses. And here we go. The cops were getting in their face, yelling at him, and you were, seeing the real monsters that are cops.
Yeah.
Right? And that's more than just Andrea saying that. I've read
cops are bastards. And I used to be pro-cop.
From my perspective, that's good for the jury to see that. And to see that even after all that in the interrogation, he didn't confess. He never really did anything to say.
So,
in fact, he denied. Then 13 months.
Yeah, I used to very much be in the camp of it's a good institution and there's bad apples. And I've gone from that to the whole system is rotten. There isn't a better solution, sadly. And the only good cops, they either quit or they're killed because the system doesn't let them exist and be a good cop. All right, so we need to swap out. We're gonna go into Goofus. We fake out into Sucker Punch, and we hope that's enough. It was not. We're gonna go into Shiftry with the fake out into Sucker Punch. We want to swap into right. Ice Beam was super painful, feels bad. We're gonna Sucker Punch. We're going to fake out again, fake out into Sucker Punch. We are going to Leaf Storm into Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch again into Play Rough. Nicely done. Now we actually need to fly back because it's not enough Pokevials to go through this whole gauntlet without having to refill the vial. And yes, character growth is certainly a thing. All right.
Maximum security, solitary confinement, even time out of his cell was with walls and an open ceiling. And he starts washing his face with toilet water, wiping feces all over the place, including potentially eating some, and then he starts making some confessions.
Shitters.
Some of his confessions don't even make sense.
Yeah, no problem. Don't worry about it.
Some of his confessions are factually incorrect.
Yep, that'll happen.
Some of them, the state argues, is information that only the killer could know.
Yeah, people in false confessions, they will say whatever they think the law enforcement wants to hear. Victoria Martins, she was a woman who was thrown in prison due to what happened to her child. I think she was eventually exonerated, but she gave 3 stories that all had elements of truth, and the evidence comes out that her first story was what happened, but the cops basically didn't believe it. So she had to keep coming up with stories until the cops felt like that's what happened. And she was someone who went to prison because they coerced a false confession out of her, and the evidence didn't bear out what they said ended up happening. And people in prison. They hate cops, and they hate people who hurt children. And she went to prison for hurting a child, so she did not have a good time in prison, and she deserves to be compensated for that.
So I think there are things the jury's going to have to weigh. Is this real? Is it not? Based on all those different contexts. And that's the jury's job. But what I'll say is, let's say the confession's real.
All right, save.
Still, inexcusable treatment of a human being.
Absolutely.
That is presumed innocent. Just think about this for a second, guys.
All right.
Think about this.
Fake
Before
out.
he confessed, let's just all agree.
Spiky shield.
He was in this maximum security solitary confinement with his mental health and physical health dwindling quickly. Okay?
Okay, we're going to protect first turn, so I don't have to deal with fake out.
As you or I of this crime.
Yep.
Okay?
Absolutely.
There's probable cause. He's been arrested, but he is presumed innocent legally.
Yep. Absolutely is. All right, we're going to grab protect.
To infringe on his liberty and freedom of movement, but he is innocent legally of
over vacuum way for now.
And all of this happened.
Save.
Just imagine if it was you, and the cops think you did something
protect.
Years later, and you
Spiky
have
shield.
An explanation of one specific spot you were years later. But the cops
Leaf
think
storm.
you did it, and they mother F you to death.
And energy ball.
They arrest you, they throw you in solitary. And this is how you're treated.
Yeah, it's horrible.
In America.
Yeah. Literal America.
Salt of the earth type of place.
Okay.
This is how you're
Pikachu
treated.
is going to go for the fake out. Protect.
Even people convicted of crimes.
Spiky shield again.
Sometimes get treated much worse than they deserve. Some of them deserve, the worst of the worst. I get that.
Absolutely.
But we don't even have to have that discussion.
Okay.
Because
sucker punch and sucker punch.
Getting this treatment. Different than like 99% of everybody else in the same exact situation.
Okay, Pikachu comes in again. We protect.
And I'm not
we
even
spiky
about
shield.
Some of the disputed facts of what happened to him, and some of the potential abuse and what was done to him. I'm talking about what everybody seems to agree.
Now
with.
Pikachu can't swap out anymore for fake outs.
That jail seemed to think was okay.
So I'm gonna go sucker punch, and I'm gonna go sucker punch.
How they treat some of the people there, and that to me just. And that's why when we talk about this, and some people can say, "Oh, you're just saying you don't want cameras in the courtroom because you want to be able to watch it." Part of that's true. I do want to be able to watch it.
I do want to watch it, absolutely.
But when you're starting to stack all these negative, un-American...
Like, the way Richard Allen's been treated, the lack of cameras in the courtroom, this reminds me of show trials, also known as kangaroo courts, aka... he's already guilty, and they're just going through the motions to make it look like a thing. Show trials and kangaroo courts are huge in authoritarian regimes, Soviet Union, China, lots of places. It's a travesty, and it's happening. It's happening here, and I hate it. And all it does is make people lose faith in the criminal justice system instead of bolstering it.
Not just processes and
if it can happen to Richard Allen, it can happen to anyone.
It's gonna be
which is why it's a problem.
Just be okay with this and be like, trust the system. Went through the system, jury convicted him, okay. Because when you got this type of holding prior to trial when he's presumed innocent, you got this type of an investigation where they just threw a completely reasonable theory out and then won't even let the defense argue it. You have this type of prosecuting and police work. What wasn't done, and no, we didn't even do the DNA.
Taunt so he doesn't get shell smashed.
Try to get this or that. No DNA evidence. The even just seemingly agreed upon lack of evidence, right? We got this bullet that's not great, but it's somewhat connected to Richard Allen.
I forgot about Weatherball.
That's our biggest piece. Then you hear all the crap in context surrounding the confession.
Protect.
Then you get a judge who's not allowing certain defenses. A judge who's trying to throw the defense attorneys off the case. I believe in this case so much they're willing to work
the thing the jury did. The judge did.
They're willing to take the hate and ridicule of the public for free. And she wanted to throw them off the case?
Sadly, no dark there.
Okay? Those attorneys were not treated properly by Sarah Boone.
No, no, they weren't. She treated him like shit.
Perfect? Maybe, maybe not. But they weren't treated right by Sarah Boone either. What do those attorneys want? They mutually agreed to part ways with her. Let's get off this case. We're done.
All right, let's see.
Not these attorneys. They wanted to stay on the case, and the judge was going to boot them off. For somebody who certainly seemed like was going to be...
We will have access to Gorbis now, which is pretty great.
Then on top of that, you got gag orders.
Alright.
Then on top of that, you got threats made in the back rooms of courthouses to these attorneys to expose them and try to ruin their careers.
We're going to take on Brendan now.
Court of the state saying that's not right. Get back in.
No, I don't have room. It's fine. Yeah.
Blocking public access to things that really seem like legally they should be viewable and accessible by the public.
It legit stinks to high heaven.
You don't want people sitting in that courtroom, especially certain people probably.
This is a sham, and I hate it.
Eye on exactly everything that's happening in Delphi, Indiana. That's going to kind of make me side-eye whatever happens in this case.
Exactly. And that's reasonable.
It just doesn't seem right. It's not the justice system I know. I'll just say that. It's really not the justice system I know. I would hate it.
We got all our megas now. Hell yeah.
And Agent Pong said, hard pill to swallow, Peter. This is very American. I mean, I would disagree, but in the courts I've practiced in, for the most part, I've never seen something like this.
I mean, you hear about it all the time, sadly. Especially with people of color. They just get completely raked over the coals.
Is this how Odin did himself in the Tree of Knowledge? BH was 18, Libby was... Yeah, I don't know, Pesky Pyramid. I honestly, I don't know these answers.
All right, we're going to lead with Houndoom because we want to one-hit the Metagross.
There were public defenders in Sarah Boone's case or private... I thought they were court-appointed private lawyers. I could be wrong. But I think
actually, we'll just sort that so it's easier to find them all. Okay.
I could be wrong about that, though. I'm not positive. I agree the jury should have the opportunity to hear and consider this evidence. Thank you for...
Yeah, if the prosecution can submit this evidence to support a claim they make, the defense deserves to counter that, you know?
And then they convict him. It's like, well, they heard the other theory, they heard all the evidence, and they rejected it.
Yep.
It would make me feel better. More confident in the outcome of this.
I think we can do it, but I'll say before Brendan, just in case.
100 guilty persons should escape, then one innocent person go free. Ben Franklin. Yeah, I agree with that.
And at the end of the day, judges are people too. They have their own biases, and sometimes they don't.
I don't know the specifics enough about this case, unfortunately.
Act impartial.
Libby was posed like the tarot card, the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is Odin. Check it out. I will check it out.
Okay, so let's lead with this and see how it goes.
And Judge Gold was a proponent on the trial test run for cameras in the courtroom for Indiana. Yet
Fiery flame cannon.
Black trash bags covering all the cameras in her courtroom just for this case.
We probably don't outspeed.
To hear that.
So I'm gonna go Sucker Punch.
I really do.
It has a choice scarf.
It really sucks.
Oh, it wasn't enough. You hate to see it. Okay, we're gonna go fake out into Sucker Punch.
Assigned private lawyers and a public defender. So yeah,
we're gonna go Sucker Punch.
Private attorneys who do
we're gonna go.
They can reject certain cases. They can say no. They
play
can
rough.
be too busy. They can come off the list. If
play
they
rough again.
Public defender assigned.
Not a fan.
Now they can't. If they reject a bunch of cases, they'll be off the court.
Okay.
You have to sign that. You'll probably accept the case that comes to you. But if you have conflicts or different reasons, there are some differences. I got to run, though, here. I'm going to answer a couple more questions. What angers me most about the trial is the corrections officers were allowed to give their opinions on Mr. Allen was faking mental illness, and the judge won't allow...
Oh, I hate that.
It's really, really bad.
Yeah, this is disgusting.
Wanting justice for Libby and Abby doesn't necessarily mean that you can't also strongly believe that Richard Allen has a right to a fair...
He does, absolutely.
Bang or bang.
He may be guilty, but do it the right way, you know?
How guilty you think somebody is, they still deserve a fair trial, fair
Everyone deserves a fair shake.
If they want to.
All right, let's see if we have anyone that's dark in here.
So that they can have a conviction in this
Let me pull up the whatnot.
Party was making the PD in town look bad. I mean, you can understand.
All right, let's see. Locations.
These two young victims. We want justice as a community, as a nation, as public. We want justice. Let's get justice. Let's get it the right way.
And that's certainly not the first time that local politician, local law enforcement is being given pressure to solve a really grim heinous or high profile crime and they have nothing. So instead of, right there, they have a vested interest in solving it, and the people will be happy, and the chief will get reelected, and the DA will get reelected, and they'll get the key to the city, and you know, all that good stuff. So they already have a vested interest in finding someone that they can say did it, whether this person did it or not. And that is exactly, in my opinion, what is happening with Richard Allen in Delphi, Indiana.
Megan, I'm Norse Pagan. Their body positions are Odin and Freya. Freya was also known to always be naked. So I will say I recognize the name Freya again from the Viking shows. That's my experience with it. Okay, I've got to run. I didn't realize we're already over an hour. I thought this was going to be a shorter video. But thank you guys for showing up. Please hit that like button. If you want more coverage of this case, let me know in the comments and by hitting the like button. And I'll try to do as much as I can when stuff actually comes out that I trust from the courtroom. But for this video, that's all we got. So until next time, I'm out of here. Now the outro for real. Thanks for watching it.
And that was Lawyer You Know. I consume their content on a daily basis, whether I'm streaming it or not. He and his father have covered a lot of various cases. Casey Anthony, Letitia Stout, the Oxford shooter, Sarah Boone, YSL, Delphi. It goes on. I like what they do. I like that he tries to have a sense of humanity and do his best to not let the biases come out how he says. He has experience as a lawyer, which is invaluable. Give him a like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Now it's back to Pokemon. There's only a few Darkmon in Safari. I think basically Iron Jugulus and like one other. We'll grab those and then we're going to start doing all our rematches. Because in Rad Red, you have to refight Misty, Surge Brock, in order to fight Koga. It's part of it being more difficult. Okay. All right. Now that I have access to Megas, I'm also going to have to fight Bugsy because I want U-turn. I made the mistake of not fighting Bugsy prior to beating Surge. And that means I have to fight his much harder team, which leads with a level 55 Cleavor. Well, it'll be adjusted to level cap. And a Mega Sizor. Okay. We're also going to grab all the various TMs and such. That'll be a big help. I already have all the Mega Stones, so I don't have to grab any more of them. Yeah, that's Earth Power. For some reason, I always thought you'd get Earth Power from Celadon, but no, you get it from Fuchsia. Yoink. I'm trying to avoid biting my lip, but it bothers me. So it's like the itch you can't scratch, but you're aware of. Yoink. Yoink. Give me Surf. Thank you. I'm not super worried about rematches, but Brock was way harder than I thought it would be for Mono Normal, and I'm expecting Surge rematch to be a pain since there's multiple fighting Mon, and as you know, Dark loses to fighting. Another thing I love about Rad Red is they made the Safari Zone a normal zone instead of rock, steps, balls, etc. So that's great quality of life for trying to actually do stuff within the Safari Zone. Okay. I probably won't use it again, but I don't think I used Iron Jugulus in Mono Flying, so there's no reason to not grab it, basically. Okay. We're gonna grab Eevee and we're gonna turn it into Umbreon. I'll have to check to see what the evolution is for it. Sometimes ROM hacks and fan games will change how a mon evolves. I need to get the other version of this. There's one that's Dark Poison, which is pretty cool because it has different abilities and such. I just don't remember where to get it. Okay, let's see. The AI can see through Zarua's illusion, so I'm not super keen about using them again, especially because it's only dark. Okay, I need to find the other Quillfish. I don't know if it's I think it might be Galarian. Let me pull it up. Oh, Hisuian. Okay, so yeah, we'll look for it that way. Oh, okay. Route 13 is the sunny route. So I will have to... Welcome back, HQ. Hope you're doing well. We're trying to figure out where I'm getting a Hisuian Quillfish. So far, it's looking like it's only Route 13, which I do not care for. Okay. So it's going to be a minute till we can get that. So now let's start putting a team together for Brock. Yeah. Yeah, now that we know that can be a thing, it's gonna be a thing. How are the cats doing today? Are you hanging out with any of them right now? And yeah, welcome back. I appreciate you stopping by, and I appreciate the lurk. I hope you don't die. I hope you and your family don't die anytime soon, and I hope you sleep well. We'll be back tomorrow, same as usual. 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern, Pokemon, Pallas Cats, and crime coverage. So we're gonna want to prevent the Stealth Rock. I'm gonna have to hold a Fighting Berry for close combat. I think I'm gonna try to get rid of the Weather because I only have one mon that can leverage it, while they have 1, 2, 4 that can leverage it. I'm gonna need Fighting to deal with Ursaluna, Fighting to deal with T-Tar. I'm gonna try to knock off the weakness policy. Not sure yet what I'm doing for Arcanine, not sure what I'm doing yet for Aerodactyl. No. I'm sorry to hear it's not a success. I'm sorry to hear you all are struggling with feeding your cats in a suitable way. I only wish you the best with that endeavor. I'm grateful that for the vast majority of Barnaby's life, he was okay with eating the same kind of food, only until the end, which I'm not gonna go into. Oh no. Damn it, Kirk. That's food, not vomit. Yeah, so that blows. I am sorry to hear that. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's only teleport. So I think we can escape rope out technically. Okay, let's see if we can find our escape rope. Really? Is scarfing up food and then proceeding to vomit more of a orange cat thing? Oh, for fuck's sake, it's not gonna let me out. I'm gonna have to get out the normal way. Okay. I hate backtracking through Safari. It makes my brain hurt. Oh, okay, that makes sense then. Do you have anything to look forward to for the rest of your week, HQ? Okay, so let's backtrack the right way, and let's get out of here. And we're safe. We will give the old man his teeth, so we don't have to worry about not having strength. And now we're gonna suss out how we're actually gonna beat Brock. I can definitely prankster to make sure there's no stealth rocks, but I'm not sure if that's the strat. Okay, I hope you do stream. That would be neat if you streamed, especially if it's a drawing stream. I have stream tomorrow, no stream on Friday. I'm still trying to get to 3 average concurrent viewers, which is why I'm doing the 2 streams 4 days a week. And then a bunch of networking with people who are already playing Pokemon. Probably gonna make some soup. I've made ramen 2 weeks in a row. I'm gonna make it a 3rd week in a row, and it's gonna be pork tenderloin. Last week was steak. The week before was chicken. All right, so let's head, well, not yet. We need to see what egg moves we have. Yes, I think it'll be good. It's about $20 to make after it's all said and done. And it gets me about 3 days of food, which is nice. So I'm gonna bring Cacturn in case I'm not able to get rid of the sand. I'm gonna bring Shiftry. I'm gonna bring Weed Cat. I'm not gonna bring Right because flying loses to rock. I'm probably gonna bring Goofus because it's my only fairy coverage. Yeah, no problem. I'm not gonna bring Houndoom. So that basically leaves us with like 2 slots open. Okay. Think I'm gonna bring Pangoro. I'm gonna give him a flying berry. I don't think King Gambit ever gets bullet punch, so I don't have that option, sadly. But maybe he does, and maybe it's from like an egg tutor or something. All right, let's check. I'm gonna be very disappointed if he doesn't get it, because then that means I have to use non-stab bullet punch on Pangoro. Okay. Nope. That is disappointing, which means we gotta go Iron Fist Pangoro, holding a Flying Berry, and then we're gonna wanna try to kill what's his nuts in one hit. Let's see what else we can give you. Sucker Punch is great. We love Sucker Punch. We'll use that over Knockoff. Okay. I don't have access to close combat yet, so I'm probably gonna have to go with Brick Break. Okay, let's see. Foul Play definitely isn't bad, but I already have Sucker Punch. I do like that it always crits. I think that's gonna come out ahead, because the crit multiplier in this is higher than vanilla. But then again, I don't know if it actually beats Hammer Arm. So I think it does beat Hammer Arm, because crit in this is like 2 point something. So that would mean Storm Throw is gonna be like 120 and change, I think. And then we'll probably go one of the elemental punches for coverage, since Iron Fist boosts punching moves. Okay. We are gonna put Vac Wave back on Shiftry instead of Protect. I think I'll do Ice Punch because Ice is still gonna be good against ground. It just won't do it will do stuff to Arrow, just not as much as I would like because Rock resists Ice. Okay, so yeah, that's the setup. We give him a Flying Berry, so it'll help resist the first hit from Dual Wing Beat, but since it is consumed on the first hit, it won't work on the second one. And I can't do Focus Sash because it will take chip damage from the sand. Okay, so that's done. I am probably gonna lead with... let's see. I think we can definitely one-hit the Great Tusk. I already outspeed him, and he doesn't exactly have much in the way of defense. So I think we'll go Shiftry. We'll do a Fighting Berry, because pretty much everyone is losing to fighting here. Okay. Weed Cat also gets a Fighting Berry. Cacturn gets a Fighting Berry, and we're also going to give it Sand Rush so it has double speed in sand. We're going to give King Gambit a Fighting Berry won't save him because he's 4 times weak. So instead we have to go with a Fire Berry. Grimmsnarl will go with... I'm not sure yet, let's see. I think we'll just go Citrus for generic healing. Shiftry, I would say, is fine. Weed Cat is realistically fine. Actually, no. Let me get rid of Protect and do Flower Trick since it always crits. That's big damage. Pangoro is fine. Goofus, also fine. Cacturn, it's reasonable. Yeah, Sand Rush for double speed. We're actually gonna go speed up and probably special defense down. Let's see. Since most of the team are physical attackers, you know. And then King Gambit. I don't think any of them have Intimidate. So instead, we're gonna go Supreme Overlord. In case King Gambit is my last Mon, he'll get a massive damage bonus. So with 5 Mon dead, that's 5 stages up in attack. Basically 2.5 sword dances. All right. Gonna fly over to Brock, and we're gonna see if we can dismantle him on the first try. That would definitely be ideal, considering how difficult he was in Mono Normal. He took me like 7 tries. Welcome back. Thank you for the lurk. Have a good rest of your evening. Take care, HQ. Take care, cats. Take care of the 42nd. All right. So I'm gonna go Leaf Storm. We eat our berry. From close combat, we live. I don't think it has a priority move. It does not. So I'm gonna die if I otherwise go in. Okay, I will look into that. Thank you. I don't want to give it weakness policy, so we're just gonna Sucker Punch. Apparently we're not gonna. Okay, so that's unfortunate. We are gonna go... play rough. Play rough again. All right, Aerodactyl. I think it does outspeed. And it's gonna go random move. So I'm just gonna Sucker Punch. Okay, not bad. We're gonna go Pangoro. We're going to Bullet Punch. We get hit with Dual Wing Beat. We Bullet Punch again. Pangoro's down. Not ideal. Goofus comes in. We fake out the Ursaluna. Boy, I really wish I had a fighting move here. I'm gonna play rough. I'm gonna play rough again. Cacturn, we're going to Energy Ball. This is not ideal. Spiky Shield will do damage there. I'm gonna Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch kills. Brick Break. Sucker Punch. We got it first try. Hell yeah, I love that. But boy, did that not go well. So we are going to save. I'm gonna do a quick Breb. Then we're gonna prep for Misty. I could technically use the Mega Gyarados because it gets a Dark typing. But the issue there is that would have to be my Mega. And if I don't Mega Evolve it, I can't use it. Okay, so Breb. Hey Taro, hope you're doing well. Thank you for stopping by. We're gonna have another Pallas Cat video, maybe even 2 of them. I just beat Brock in Mono Dark, and I was taking a pee break. How are you doing today? Oh, all right then. Were you sick? I hope you slept well, considering it was all day. Yep. All right. That makes sense. I don't blame you in the slightest. I was in a media blackout intentionally. I woke up this morning and then Mom spoiled who won, and it's been a day. So this is Dan Yang. She's one of the Chinese Manual that died this year. She's doing a in a tree. She's super adorable. All right, let's pull that up. All right. Kind of, yeah. I love that stance she has. It's such a power stance. And they don't honk. They murr and they hiss. She's so pretty. She was only 4, so it makes me really mad that she had to die. And Dan Yang is very much one of the Chinese Manul. Oh, such teeth! Goodness. Giant chompers. She's living up on the great step in the sky. Oh, absolutely. God gave us 2 hands for a reason, you know? So that was one of Dan Yang. Let's have a happier one since Dan Yang went on to heaven. Let's see. Exactly. Undoubtedly. This is Lev grabbing some food. This is from a Japanese Twitter handle. Let me see if I can pull it up without doxing myself. No, I'm not going to turn on notifications. All right. Here comes Lev on his fancy magic paw. He's such a beautiful boy. Big sniffs. Apparently that was it. Hopefully he actually got the food. If there was any, I don't know. Maybe it was just to do a sniff. But yeah, he's a silly man. All right, and then we'll do one more. Let me find that. Oh, this is a good one. It's gonna be of Bull resting in the sun on his stump during golden hour, which is very important for photography and for cats. I have never been more jealous of a cat in their life. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's majestic. The ray of sunlight, Polly in the background, Bull dreaming of eating people. And this is from uncredited. His tail's tucked between his legs and he's holding onto it with his front paws. That is so wholesome. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can find Polly in the background. She's usually lurking in the background somewhere. So I don't see her, but there's no guarantee she's not in the frame somewhere waiting to attack. Because Polly is very sneaky. All right. But yeah, love me some Pallas Cats, and you all need to as well. Now we're going to take on Misty. We're going to take on Surge. Hopefully neither of those take the rest of the stream, because I would really like to beat Koga before we wrap up today. So we're going to lead with a water-absorbed Cacturn. It will go for Drain Punch because the other 3 moves will fail. We will hold a Fighting Berry, and we'll try to kill it with Energy Ball or something. Kingdra, we do want to get rid of the weather, so we're gonna go Tyranitar with Sandstream. Yes, Rock loses the water, but we're only doing it to get rid of the weather. They don't have any way to naturally set weather once it's gone. Gyarados is going to be scary. I'm not sure what I'm doing about that yet. Archaludon, I'm probably going to go fire because there's no really good ground special attackers that are dark. Fire as well for Therathorn. Not sure what I'm doing about Gorbis. Probably dark poison because I'll resist the fairy thanks to the poison. It won't be raining out, so there won't be a super strong surf. Ice Beam will definitely hurt, and I can't use Taunt or like Fake Out / Sucker Punch because Dazzling blocks priority moves. All right, so let's get back to all that. Eel. Save. That way if it crashes, we're not completely boned. Cerulean. Let's start prepping. Okay, so we lead with Cacturn. Okay, we give Cacturn Water Absorb, so its other 3 moves fail, which is very funny. It'll try to pivot out to trigger 0 to hero, and it won't work. So it'll have to either keep punching me to death or go for a manual swap. And by manual, I mean, yes, Cacturn. I'll show you. Oh, I see what you did there. Yes. In Moemon Mega Fire Red, they made Cacturn into a bandito with like a Pancho Villa style outfit and an ammo bandolier and a pistol. It looked very cool. So I was using Sand Rush, but I want Water Absorb, so I don't take any damage from water moves. There we go. Then we want to hold a Chipotle Berry to reduce fighting moves. Palafin is 100. So we're just going to go special attack up on this. Okay, so yep. Special attack up. And we're going to go special defense down, since most of them are physical attackers. There's a Digimon ROM hack that I'm aware of. There's obviously Moemon, which is the global Moemon project. There's different spriters, so they will definitely look different. There is one I'm currently forgetting, so we'll get back to that. There's at least one that's of characters from Toho. I don't know all of them because Moemon is the only other one that has like sprite replacement that I actually play. All right. So Spiky Shield is fine, Sucker Punch is fine, Energy Ball is fine. We want to replace one of those with probably something else. Maybe Lunge, since that's good against Dark. Okay. Goofus. I think Goofus is okay. So, Sprigatito, it's basically a grass cat, you know? So since grass is green and weed is grass, it's Weed Cat. It's more of canon accepted from the community, you know? I'll stick to this for now. This is not the first time I've used Weed Cat now. I'm actually gonna get rid of Taunt for now, and we're gonna grab Hammer Arm just so I have more coverage. Okay, Weed Cat. Chipotle Berry is realistically okay. Those are more or less all fine. I think we are gonna nix King Gambit. We're gonna bring in Houndoom so I can deal with the Ferrothorn. We want to hold a Cherry Berry because Ferrothorn likes to paralyze. I think this will fit. Since it's Cerberus, it makes sense that it would be 3 dogs. So it's gonna be 3 good boys. And it barely is gonna fit. I won't be able to Mega because I need to hold the Paraberry. We are also going to nix Pangoro because I need Tyranitar, whatever, for Sandstream, which is its ability when it enters the field. Pangoro was useful because I needed a steel move, and it ideally had to be priority to deal with Aerodactyl. And Bullet Punch with Iron Fist, which boosts punching moves, did that. I have to remember where I put Larvitar. I may not have actually grabbed one. I could have sworn I did. Maybe I did on the other save before the crash. That's very much looking like I did that. So we need to go grab a Larvitar from Celadon. Have you eaten anything good for dinner today, Taro? I had Borgar. It was made well. It was totally worth needing to take a Mucinex because breathing is very bog. Okay. Larvitar has a very ugly shiny, so we are not going to be bothering with that. Let's get them up all the way, pun intended. We don't need Sandstorm because we'll have Sandstream. I like Stone Edge, but it has low accuracy. So we're probably gonna go Earthquake, Rock Slide Crunch, and a fighting move. But I'm not gonna use T-Tar in E4 because I wanna save it for Mono Dark. And by Mono Dark, I mean Mono Rock. Because in this, Rockmon get a 50% special defense bonus in Sand, which is really cool. It's useful as well because there's a lot of common weaknesses within Rock. I have a little indigestion. Not ideal. Where are you? Break. There you are. Alright, so no Thrash because it locks you in, which is cringe. And I think I'll go a Fire Punch. Because that... Actually, no Fire Punch. Never mind. Maybe Ice Punch? Oh, or maybe only the Evolve form will learn it. So let's see about that then. Okay, Larvitar is 30. So basically just 2 rare candies and it'll be fully evolved. Okay, Pupitar, that makes sense. It's not a bug, but it has the silly bug thing. I may as well give it crunch for now. That way we have 2 stab moves, even though everyone's dark. So it's not like I'm in short supply, you know? Okay, so I didn't need the hidden ability. Alright. That's fine. Sandstream, yep. This way we don't have to use the Mega. We are going to hold a Passo Berry because most of the team is water. And Rock has a 2x weakness to that, which is cringe. That needs a change. We're gonna go probably one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go defense up and special attack down. Yes, impish. Which reminds me of Imsy for no discernible reason. Okay, if it doesn't learn the punches, I guess we'll just go for one of the Fang moves. We'll go like Thunder Fang or something. Yeah, I think we have enough of that. Let's see what he can learn from tutors and such. That would be handy. Tyranitar. Alright. Oh, at 73 it gets Dragon Dance. That'll actually be really useful. Okay, so what do you get via tutor is the real question. I mean, Power Up Punch isn't bad, but it's not going to be able to stay in for multiple turns. Oh, that's interesting. I could do a Curse Tyranitar. Not that I would, but that is really interesting because it's always fun using a non-Ghostmon to do Curse setup and become incredibly tanky and just like dunk on everyone. I did that in Mono Poison with Sevi Carnivine, and I also did that with Klotzer in Mono Poison. Okay, I think we can make this work. Now we're gonna save. We're gonna fly back to Misty. We're gonna punch her in the teeth, steal all our money. You know, the good shit. Save again. Save one more time for good measure. So right off the jump, it's not going to be able to use any of its water moves. I'm going to Spiky Shield in case it goes for a move. It goes for Drain Punch. Now that we're not doing crime coverage, I'm actually going to make the window bigger. There you go. I'm gonna go Energy Ball, and I have to hope that I live this. Nice, okay. So Palafin down, it doesn't get to do 0 to hero, which basically turns it into its second form, which has higher and better stats. Boy, I really wish I had U-turn, because I would U-turn out. But actually, Archaludon may outspeed me. I need to double check. Cacti are not overly fast. Yes, I would be outsped. So we are just, it is gonna go Body Press or Dragon Pulse. So I'm gonna pivot into someone else. Okay. Shit. Ice up, no, 4 times weak. Okay. Yes. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna fake out. Well, that was not ideal. I may have to change a thing or two. All right, so that's a reset. I completely goofed that. I know what I'm going to use for Archaludon. There is a mon, I didn't want to use it, but it absolutely will be the answer. So we are going to keep Meowscarada, get rid of Shiftry, and we're gonna bring in Hydreigon because it's Dark Dragon. It'll outspeed the Archaludon, and Dragon is weak to Dragon. Okay, so that's our solution there. It's 4 times weak to Fairy, so I wasn't like super excited about using it, you know? Okay. We'll grab Dragon Pulse for now in case it doesn't get Fickle Beam, which is basically X amount of damage with a chance to do double. That's kind of it, I guess. Let's get it fully evolved. Let's see if it gets a different move. No. I mean, I guess I'll just grab Hyper Voice, but I'm probably not using it. Yumi, thank you for stopping by. I hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good rest of your stream last night. I look forward to Diamond Nuzlocke. Right now we're working on Misty Rematch. I didn't have a good answer for Archaludon, so now I'm changing a thing or two. I'm gonna use Hydreigon and I'm gonna try to just kill it with Dragon Pulse. And I'm probably gonna hold a Dragon Berry or a Fighting Berry. All right. I do like how Hydreigon looks. It has a horrible shiny in my opinion. The green and purple. The purple's great, but the green is terrible in my opinion. Horrible shade. I'm glad to hear you're doing better. I'm hanging in there. I'm not pleased with the election results or the implications that it has for us. I think it can also get Flamethrower. It can also get Aura Sphere, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. No, yes, Aura Sphere. Aura Sphere is going to be useful because that's good against Steel. And then I'm probably going to nix Dragon Pulse for probably Flamethrower. Pretty sure I can learn it. No Ice Beam though. Okay, yep, there's Flamethrower, and we want to get rid of the Rain because I want my Sandy boys to be able to do good damage with their fire. Okay, so let's just double check Nature. Nature needs a change. We'll go... We do outspeed, which is huge. We're gonna go Modest. And we're gonna go Dragon Berry, because I expect it's gonna want to just Dragon Pulse me. What have you had for dinner? Or is it not dinner time yet, Yumi? Also, make sure to stay hydrated. I understand you have trouble with water, but I hope you drink at least a glass of water today. You need to stay hydrated. You do not want to fall into a thirst trap. Hobbin is Dragon. All right, let's round 2 run this back. I am going to put a... Could have sworn I had already. I did. So we'll do it on this one as well. Or not. Sounds good. I had a Borger. It was absolutely worth needing to take medicine so I don't get sick. I might still get sick, but it was tasty. Yes, it was quite good. I have trauma with that place because they've gotten my order wrong like 3 or 4 times, and I ordered something really basic. Just a bacon cheeseburger with no mustard, and half the time it's been wrong, so it's like, fuck, do I really want to risk it, drive home, and then be like, oh man, you guys got it wrong. Yeah, it's not like I'm asking for something complicated. If I were asking for like a really convoluted order, I get it. But no, just skip the mustard. It's really not that hard. All right, so we have water absorb. So it, what's it called? None of its water moves will work. We have a fighting berry because it's gonna want to drain punch. We're gonna energy ball. It instantly swaps out into Archaludon. I do not like that. It's probably gonna go... I don't think any of his moves with body press make contact, so I'm expecting it to either be body press or it's gonna be Dragon Pulse. Yes, I absolutely am impressed when they get it right too, because it's definitely something I would struggle with. So we're gonna swap into Hydreigon. We ate the Dragon Pulse. We are going to Aura Sphere, because for some reason it wouldn't have been super effective. Feels bad. We're gonna go into someone who I know will outspeed. We Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch again. Okay, that didn't work out well, but it's doing a thing. We will outspeed, so we're gonna U-turn. We're gonna go into the good boys. This is random move. We are gonna go for Flamethrower. I still need to get rid of the weather. This is Palafin in his hero form. So we're gonna go into Cacturn. Jet Punch gets absorbed because he's stupid. Spiky Shield for reduced damage. And Energy Ball we kill. I don't think I die. I'm gonna go for the, well actually no. I think he's gonna Dragon Dance. So we're gonna lunge just to give him some chip damage and attack down. Okay, not bad. I'm below HP, I'm below half, so he goes random move. I'm gonna go Spiky Shield and hope it's a contact move. It was a contact move. I sadly don't think I live again. So I'm gonna Sucker Punch for chip damage. It's not ideal. I believe we outspeed. Play rough, we kill. This is random move, but I need to get rid of the weather. So not everyone is like double speed basically. Ice Beam, not ideal. He still will outspeed, like undoubtedly. He's probably going water move or dragon move. So I'm gonna go Goofus. We fake out. We eat our berry, fake out into Play Rough. Hurricane misses because the weather that makes it not miss was gone. This is not fun because Gorbis is immune to priority and has a focus sash, and it's just unpleasant. So we're gonna get the chip damage in. We accept that we died to Moonblast, not a big deal. It hasn't gotten a Shell Smash off, so that's good. And we do outspeed. I really wish I had a poison move right here because that actually would have been super effective. So I'm just gonna go Scorching Sands. I don't get the burn. Weed Cat does outspeed. And we're gonna Flower Trick and it's dead. So second try, we take it. It certainly was not as clean as I would have liked, but a win's a win. I'm scared for Surge because I have to find a way to get rid of the terrain. So that's basically defog. I don't think any dark type get Ice Spinner. I'm gonna double check because Ice Spinner also destroys terrain. Okay. Dark. Also earlier in the VOD, there will be Pallas Cat videos. We've done like 5 of them so far today. Okay, so provided Weevil actually learns Ice Spinner naturally, we can use it. Otherwise, I can't use Ice Spinner because you only get it after you get Surf, which is after you beat Koga. Please tell me you learn it naturally. He does not learn it naturally, So we basically have to do pranks. We have to do defog on Honk-Crow with an electric berry and hope we get the defog off, which there's no guarantee I will be able to. And I don't have any other way to do something with the terrain. So we're gonna start by removing basically at least half the team. So let's see what that looks like. We're gonna nix Cacturn, we're gonna nix Hydreigon and T-Tar. We are gonna bring in okay, let's see. We bring in Honk-Crow for the defog. It needs to be mostly physical attackers due to the bulk of them being physical. There's a good amount of water and ice and grass, so ground is not really in a good position here. Let's actually look at Surge's roster. So that Focus Sash is going to be a problem. It also has Quark Drive, so it outspeeds. That actually gives me an idea. I'm not sure how many can do it though. I'm gonna try a Trick Room setup. I do not expect many Darkmon to be able to learn it. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do it without Trick Room, and if I'm struggling, we'll come back to a Trick Room setup. Because the only two that'd be able to learn it that I have access to are Malamar and Weed Cat. Alright. Only one has Intimidate, so that's not super exciting. Let me look at Dark. I wonder if any of them have like Lightning Rod or the other one. Lightning Rod, no. What about Motor Drive? Nope. What about... That's gonna be... I'm not sure how I'm gonna beat this Belly Bolt. Because there are no good special attack ground Dark types. And I'm gonna have to hold a water move because of Water Berry because Muddy Water. Rotom is gonna be an issue as well. Okay. Maybe there's a world where I do some kind of stall. I know Sableye has Toxic. I was using Sableye in a fight earlier. Okay. That actually might be a play. I feel like not having damage is an issue though. You need so much damage in these fights. I think I do have to bring Crocodile. We're gonna go special defense up. Spadef up. Attack, special attack down. We hold the Water Berry. And I'm not sure how I'm actually gonna kill it. I mean, I could do Mold Breaker. Because Mold Breaker will bypass Levitate. Well, no, that's for... No, that's not for that. Never mind. I'm probably gonna need Masquerada for Rotom. Okay, so it's Passo Berry for my Crocodile. I am gonna bring in Houndoom. I'm gonna try to, well, I'm not gonna outspeed, that's the issue. So, let's see. I think I'm gonna Sash, because I need to live. If I can kill the Great Iron Treads without him swapping out, then I can have another Mon come in, defog to get rid of terrain and rocks. I could also try to prevent the rocks from coming in, but it'll probably just swap out, which is a bit of an issue. Okay, so Sucker Punch, that's gonna be the quote-unquote priority move. It's gonna Stealth Rock first turn. I'm gonna Flamethrower. Yeah, there's not a better move, sadly. Okay, Weed Cat. I'm gonna put a Ice Berry in case somehow it manages to get an Ice Beam off on me. Right needs a Wakanda Berry. Your whole job is going to be to defog because we need to get rid of electric terrain. The last time I did this, I also tried to do a defog strat, and I actually was never able to get it in and get the defog off without dying. So that was very disappointing. Which means if it happens here again, we'll have to not do the defog strat. Fake Out, Sucker Punch, Play Rough. Instead of Hammer Arms, we're gonna go back to Taunt to prevent certain status moves from being used. Okay, so Three Good Boys is for Great Tusk, Weed Cat is for Rotom, Right is to defog, Goofus is meant to be for not sure yet, probably Iron Hands. So I'll want to probably hold the generic berry. Crocodile is meant to be for what's his face? Belly Bolt. Alright, let me check something. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna be able to kill. If I can kill the Belly Bolt, that would be great, but we're probably not gonna outspeed whoever pivots in, right? So now that leaves what exactly? Okay. So that leaves one slot open. We need someone to deal with Manectric / Palmot. The fighting moves automatically are a problem because I have to be dark, which makes me want to go one of the Stallmon, but probably not. So now let me see if I have someone who can actually withstand damage from that actually might be the strat. Cujo can have Defiant, and he is relatively fast. That being said, I'm gonna die to the punch move. I could go Mega Absol. I do have all the Mega Stones. That actually might be a play. You know, I'm gonna try that. I haven't actually used Mega Absol yet, so I have no idea what it's gonna end up being. Okay, so Absol. So it's gonna be Sucker Punch instead of Night Slash because I want to be able to react to them. It's going to be Psycho Cut, which is gonna be affected by Sharpness. It's gonna be... I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get the Sword Dance off. So let's take Absol to the tutor and see what else we can give it. Okay. Mega Absol is Fairy Dark with access to sharpness. Alright, so what am I giving it? That's the real question. Okay, so sadly there does not seem to be much. I don't have access to close combat yet. It is primarily a physical attacker. We definitely give it play rough. We also give it Shadow Claw. Okay, I think Shadow Claw is boosted by sharpness because I had a sharpness Ceruledge who was able to one-hit Hatterene in Mono Fire. I just have to remember where it is. There we go. Okay, so Psycho Cut, Sucker Punch, Shadow Claw, and Play Rough with a Mega Stone for Mega Absoling. No, not you. And then even more speed because gotta go fast. Jolly. And then I need to make sure it actually has sharpness. So we gotta... let me see. Okay, Absol. Pressure, Super Luck Justified. Magic Bounce, Sharpness. I mean, we'll find out when I Mega Evolve it. I know I could give it like a status move, but I really want to beat Surge so we can start fresh with Koga tomorrow. So this is the team more or less. And I'm going to name Absol Vash because Absol is the Calamity / Disaster Pokemon. And Vash the Stampede was more or less a walking disaster in the anime Trigun. So that's a thing. Save. Vermilion. We're leading with Good Boys. All right, go team. So right off the jump, we expected to Stealth Rock. So we're gonna Flamethrower, that's fine. Sucker Punch, Iron Trez is down. Now we're free to get someone in to defog. Okay. Iron Hands is gonna go for the Fake Out. I'm gonna go for right. I think I do outspeed. We get faked out. I'm going to defog. No electric terrain, no entry hazards. I hate that I'm losing right, but it did its job, which is ultimately what mattered. I'm gonna come in with Vash. We're going to play rough, and this might kill him. It does not, and I hate that. But this will kill him. Okay, good. So I love that for us. And I think I have Magic Bounce because it prevented the leech effect from happening. Also, how fast is Manectric? Manectric is 135. What is Mega Absol? Mega Absol is still outsped. Okay. So we are gonna go Sucker Punch. And we're gonna probably get a decent amount of damage in. Not nearly as much as I would have liked. Okay, Pawmot comes in. We go Weed Cat. We're gonna play rough. One hit. Love to see it. Okay, Manectric comes in again. We are gonna be outsped. But I don't think he kills me in one hit. Okay, that's not ideal. I'm going to U-turn. This is probably Thunder Charge into possibly Parabolic. So we're gonna go Crocodile, banking on that. Intimidate drop doesn't really matter. It wanted a Volt Switch, it doesn't get to. We're gonna Earthquake. Because he was so close to half HP, that's a kill. In comes Rotom. Rotom is gonna outspeed. He probably goes Scald. It's his strongest move. I'm gonna go Weed Cap. Okay. Interesting, it went Hidden Power Ice. Flower Trick. It always crits. More than enough. Huge. We don't outspeed here, sadly, so we manually need to swap out. It's gonna go random move because I'm low HP. I'm gonna hope it picks, I'm gonna hope it picks Hidden Power Grass. It went Flamethrower. We have Flash Fire for that specific reason. That's fine. Actual first try. Fucking love to see it. It's always a pleasant treat when the rematches are a cinch. So I'm gonna do one more Pallas Cat video. We are gonna find someone to raid. And we will be picking up tomorrow with Koga, with May, with Jasmine, and with Blaine. We can absolutely knock that out of the park in one stream. I'm not sure who I'm going to raid yet, though. Okay, so we'll do a classic Pallas Cat video. The oldies are goodies for a reason, so... Wild Pallas Cat. This is from BBC, because of course it is.
A Pallas cat. He has the densest fur of any cat in the world.
So chonky, so fluffy, such a beautiful boy.
Nonetheless, to keep warm, he must catch up to 5 rodents a day.
The tiny legs, because how long the coat is. And that's such a cute little jump.
Voles and Jurgles. Relative to body size, Pallas cats
Large. Yes, Taro.
of any cat.
Very chonky, very sneaky.
And that helps by giving them a low profile when stalking. But it's not so good for wading through deep snow. Never mind, there are plenty more. He just needs to stay focused.
I love the orange foot. When they scratch like that, it reminds me of people holding a seashell to their ear and pretending to answer the phone, you know?
Unfortunately, the longer he's out in the snow,
Oh
the
no.
colder his paws become.
The beans. No one wants frozen beans. He doesn't even own a microwave.
And he has only one way to get the blood circulating again.
Oh no.
Could be one shade too many.
Presumably, it took a long time with an incredibly long-range camera. I remember from National Geographic India, the narrator talks about how it took over 20 days for them to get like maybe a minute of footage.
Only one hunt in three by a Pallas cat is successful. No wonder he has the reputation of being the grumpiest cat
Maybe.
in the world.
I don't know. God bless people who are wilderness photographers. It's not easy. I've seen some videos of people going out to literally like bumfuck Mongolia in the middle of winter, and it's certainly a daunting challenge, to put it mildly. We're gonna go with one more classic. And by that, I'll just look up one I have on my computer because I have a fair amount of them in my stash. Let's see which one. I'm gonna go with Lev getting in his nest. He's a very good boy. I mean, yeah. And I have a picture of that I'll show you after this one. I'm sure you've seen it before, but I'm not sure if Yumi's seen it. Oh, Lev just wants to be a bird. Sit in his nest, eat hot chip, and lie. Yet more evidence that cats are birds. And this is also at Nasu Animal Kingdom in Japan. Oh, he's such a handsome man. All right, I'll find the one where a photographer gets sneak attack by a Meownwell. So tiny. Yeah, I absolutely agree. He's breaking all the leaves, but that's how they release their flavor. So this is presumably average Asian woman height, and we know fully grown they're only 4 to 5 kilograms. Very tiny. Let me see if we can actually get a zoom in on this. Big fan. So adorable. Tiny tail. Looks like a raccoon. All curled up. Not much orange, but maybe the orange is on the undercoat. Maybe the orange is on the bottom of the feet. Wild Meownwell, they hit different. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, it's less cold here. Leave me alone. Oh. Such a good kitty. All right, now we're gonna find someone to raid. I'm gonna save one more time for good measure. Let's see. Let me check one other one. Well, that doesn't really help me. All right, I know who it'll be then. They're doing a Nuzlocke of Storm Silver, apparently. I'm not sure if it's a sprite replacement or what type of whatnot it is. In the past, they do, and they do still occasionally play Radical Red, but it took him like 13 hours to prep one fight in a hardcore Nuzlocke. So I can imagine how exhausting that is, you know? All right. Let me make sure he's actually still online as well. He is. So that's good. And he's doing a hardcore Nuzlocke, no less, so that's going to be even more difficult. Hardcore usually has even more limitations as to what you're allowed to use. Once I'm done with all the monotypes in Rad Red, I will be doing a hardcore run. So for example, in hardcore, for the most part, you're not allowed to set weather. You're not allowed to use status moves. You're not allowed to set hazards. You don't get speed boost on Blaziken. If it's good, you don't get it, and the enemy still gets to use it. There are some cases, though, on some Mon that are not very good, that they actually allow you to have those things, but then you're hamstringing yourself by using a garbage Mon. So it's like, well, shit, you know? Alright, VOD friends, lurkers, everyone who stopped by live, such as HQ, Taro, Yumi, Sylvie, thank you for doing so. I stream every Monday to Thursday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern, Radical Red, Pallas Cats, and crime coverage. Hang in there. We're gonna get through this. Be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.